I've been so excited to film this video. I've been waiting so long for this thing to arrive. You might have remembered, like probably about a year ago now, a few months ago, I bought and tested and reviewed the world's cheapest, or what I could find to be the cheapest electric bicycle on the internet, and it was actually pretty good. If you want a quick update on how that bike is getting on, it's still in use like right now. My brother uses it to ride to the gym and back every day. I think he's done nearly 1,000 kilometers on the little computer thing, and it's going strong. We had to change the brake pads, but other than that, it still works. So that was the cheapest electric bicycle. Now today we're back with another video, another electric bicycle video, but today I have managed to find and secure the world's smallest electric bicycle, or I should say the world's smallest electric bike that is in production today that you can go onto the internet and buy yourself, and that is the Airwheel E6. I'm gonna be honest, it's not the lightest box in the world. Like, considering this is the smallest electric bike you can buy, I thought it would be lighter. But I think first things first, let's unbox this thing. Let's have a look inside it. Quick side note, if you want to know how much this thing cost, it was 399 euros with shipping. I think it came from Belgium, and I paid full retail for this. I didn't get it sent for free. Look at that. Absolutely belting. So it's called the Airwheel Free Intelligent Life. Don't know what intelligent life means. I'm sure we're about to find out. See ya. I present to you, this thing looks like a scooter. You know those scooters that all the guys are riding around on London? This looks like one of them. So in the box we've got this little plastic wallet with a warranty card in. Don't exactly know what warranty we're going to be able to get with this thing. So we've got a user manual, which obviously we're not going to read. I'm a 24-year-old bloke, we don't read instruction manuals. So there wasn't a whole lot of stuff in the box. We've got like the plug, which is obviously a European adapter. Thankfully I've got an English adapter inside. We've got the power unit for the charger, and then we got the bad boy itself, man. Don't know how to open. I'm gonna try and figure out how to open. Oh, here we go. Is this it? Mate, smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Oh, that was well easy. They just locked into place. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but that, I think kind of first off the bat, the quality ain't the best, man. Everything just kind of moves, like, can you hear that? I'm just gonna give you a close-up of the seat right now. That thing does not look like the comfiest saddle in the world. You would not want to be riding the Tour de France on that thing. I don't know what the idea behind it is. I guess it's like one pad for each butt cheek or something. So I think that in the eyes of the law here in the UK, this thing is technically classed as a scooter because there isn't actually any pedals on it. The only way you kind of move is by pressing the accelerator and putting your feet on the feet pegs. So technically it's a scooter, not an electric bicycle. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to ignore that fact. First thing I've noticed, there is no brakes. There is literally no brakes. So yeah, that's a bit savage, right? We do, however, have a light and a bell for attracting attention. Okay, so I'm hoping that this thing has some battery in it off the rip. So I'm guessing this is the battery, this big bulky thing here, this is the battery. And we've got a little power button on the side of it. And according to my little interface, we've got half battery. Or, I mean, it's both half and empty are lit up, so God knows. Not entirely sure what this red button is. Don't think it really does anything. I've also just noticed a button here which says P on it, so I don't know whether that's like a handbrake or perhaps it's an electric brake. I have also just noticed you've got some front suspension here. You don't get that on your £6,000 road e-bikes, do you? We've got this thing here which I think maybe is like a stand. Yeah, it's a stand. Look at that. That's sick. That is sick. All right, I'm gonna give this thing a little spin around the garden. I've not got the biggest of gardens, but we'll make it work. A little off-road test for this bicycle. Absolutely fantastic. Having a little bit of an issue here in the wet grass, but we are prevailing. We are getting through. Now this thing, there's a little button on the left-hand side. is an electric brake, and now that's pretty cool. I've never seen that on a bike before, and I mean, it doesn't stop instantly. It doesn't stop like a normal brake would, but it definitely helps. It definitely slows the thing down. I've just found out what this little button on the right hand side is that I thought did nothing. It turns the light off and on. So apparently, according to the box, this thing has a max speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Personally, I don't think that's true. Just from riding around this back garden, I don't think it's gonna go 20k an hour. I mean, I'm willing to be proved wrong. I'm gonna test it for sure. I don't know what the weight is, and I also haven't got a pair of scales at my house right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an overlay on the screen right now. This is how much it weighs, so make of that what you will. Personally, I think that's quite heavy for this bike. I mean, all the weight is in the battery. Obviously, it is a pretty chunky battery on the back of the bike there. I can't find anywhere on the internet or on the box to say how far or what the range is on this bike. So obviously, like the last video with the cheapest e-bike, we're gonna be testing the range. So what I'm gonna do right now is stick this thing on charge, and then we'll resume the video when we've got 100% battery. So we've been charging for, I'd say, a couple of hours now, and the light on the charging box is now green, which I am going to take an educated guess and say that is the battery full. All right, the whip is charged up, we're ready to go. I've also got my Wahoo, which is going to show us the distance and our max speed. And finally, I've got a hat on, so hopefully no one in the local area that knows me recognises me riding this thing. All right, let's go and see how far the Airwheel E6 can get us. All right, so much like the last video, I'm just gonna ride this thing until it doesn't ride anymore. However, on this one with no pedals, it's just completely operated by the throttle. So because of that, I don't wanna get stuck too far away from home. So I'm just gonna like ride around my local area, just do laps, I think, rather than try and sort of go any significant distance. Otherwise, as soon as this thing runs out, I'm gonna have a flipping long ride home. All right, I've just posted this picture on Instagram saying I'm doing a range test of the smallest e-bike that you can buy. The closest answer is gonna win £20. I'm gonna do more of these little competitions, so make sure you're following me on Instagram so you don't miss out on anything in the future. So on my totally bodged out Wahoo mount, we've done 3.5 kilometers so far, and I thought I would pull over and just give you guys a little bit of a first kind of initial reaction to riding this thing. It's totally back end heavy. Like, all the weight is on the back. When I'm riding along, you do not want to be leaning over the back, otherwise you are screwed. Secondly, the bike is incredibly twitchy, the smallest of movements, and you are all over the road. Don't know why that is. I'm guessing it's something to do with the small wheel, and also the fact that there's like no stem. It just kind of goes straight down to the wheel from the handlebars, and there is absolutely no give in the handling. It's very twitchy, very responsive. But on a more positive note, this electric brake thing is pretty cool. Like, it works. It actually works. When I'm approaching a junction, I press this button and the bike slows down pretty quickly. Again, it's not totally as fast as a normal bike would be, but it works. It works. So we've done 5.8 kilometers, just approaching 6, and as you can see, we're down from the full to the half light. That the full light's just gone off completely. All right, not a great start. I don't think this battery's gonna last us too long. If we're already down to 50%, we've done 6 kilometers. We're gonna keep trucking on. I've also had to put the seat right back down to the bottom, because when I raised it, it was just like leaning so far back, and it either felt like it was going to snap or it was just going to do some serious damage to my back. So I just slammed the seat back down to the bottom so it's at its strongest point. They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling, trying to get me riding dirty. See man riding a Chinese whip, blacked out windows, leaning back, but not too far back, otherwise I'll fall off the back. What I've noticed is it really struggles on like the lightest of inclines. We were just at about 2% and this thing almost came to a standstill. We're coming up to 13 kilometers now. The empty light is flashing, which I think means we're pretty much near the end of the battery, which I'm quite happy about. My bum is so sore right now. This seat is the most uncomfortable thing I think I've ever sat on, and I've sat on some uncomfortable things. Oh, we are starting to like chug. It's very off and on right now. This might be the start of the end, boys and girls. It's really having to work now. Any second now, I can just feel it coming. Any second, it's just gonna cut out. Move out of my way. Going, going, going. Mate, we are literally creeping along right now. We're creeping along. All right, I think we're done. I think we're done. So we're in the middle of nowhere on this road, and the battery on the bike, on the Airwheel E6, has finally given in after a few kilometers. I'm gonna save it until I get back home just in a second, but before I can, I've got to walk home. I've literally got to walk home because the battery's died. I mean, thankfully I'm not too far away from home, but it's still gonna be a bit of a walk, so I'll see you when we get back home. All right, so after a rigorous distance test, the scores on the doors officially, the distance that we covered was 18.1 kilometers, and the winner of the guess over on Instagram and the winner of £20 is Mr. A. Hernandez, who guessed 18.12 kilometers. That's the closest guess I've had. So Mr. Hernandez, please send me a message on Instagram and I will PayPal you the £20 you have won. Congratulations. It says our max speed here was 52.7k. I can assure you that it was not. That is definitely 100% a GPS glitch. Our average speed here, it says 16.6 kilometers per hour. So to be honest, I would guess and say that the max speed probably is around the acclaimed 20k per hour. The bike is definitely not the most comfortable thing to ride. My knee, my left knee in particular, and my bum cheeks are in quite a lot of pain now. It was definitely not a pleasurable journey. But to kind of quickly summarize my thoughts and feelings on this bike, I mean, it's definitely not the most solid of constructions. Everything just feels kind of a bit flimsy, but it does fold up, and I guess the idea of this thing is to be the smallest e-bike, and you know, when we fold this thing up, it's pretty small, right? This thing's tiny. You can take it onto a train, you can carry it, put it into your back car, into the back of your car super easily. I also think 18.1 kilometers isn't horrendous when you factor in the size of the battery in this thing. I assume they probably didn't set out to try and make a battery and make a bike that lasts as long as possible. The idea is the size and to make it as small as possible. And I guess finally, would I spend another 399 euros on this thing if I was going to use it? Absolutely not. I'd probably buy Dogecoin instead.
Yeah, I get my bop on. Yeah, I get my bop on. If she needs some good, tell her she can hop on. She know I'm the top dog. I know she a hot one. Balenci's on the feet, and you know I got the socks on. She said with my high sauce, she ain't with no knockoff. See them, we gon' pop off.